Hello Internet, and welcome to an author plays, or in this case, an author builds, in Minecraft even. You can kind of see the little village back there, but we won't pay any mind to that, because, we in it to win it. So, what's going on here? Well, I noticed that there was a particular lack of something on YouTube, specifically for the Botania mod, and as a member of the modding Minecraft community, I just couldn't let that stand, now could I? So, what I have for us today is an automated, using Botania only, mind you, using only Botania, an automation method for a little flower called the Rafflosia. This little guy right here. What this does is it takes in passive generating flowers, the dayblooms, nightshades, and hydrangeas that Vasky wrongly or rightly decided to nerf and then has given the config back recently. So, some things of note before I get into the build is I am playing on Minecraft 1.8.9, which is using the unofficial but sanctioned, I guess you could say, Botania port. So that's why, for instance, the spreader in my hand looks a little funky. That is actually an elven spreader, which I'll be using later on to make a point. So there is that disclaimer, along with all of the bugs that come with Minecraft modding in version 1.8. But either way, let's get into it, shall we? So the first step for automating our passive generating flora is this. We have 9 jaded amaranthi sitting here, right here in the center, and these flowers generate mystical flowers at the cost of a little bit of mana. I have 9 of them here in order to ensure that this little field in here fills up, and every 7 seconds, using a hovering hourglass and a redstone signal to a pulse mana spreader, you hit this drum of the wild, causes all the flowers to break, and yay, flowers everywhere. Now, from there, what happens is the flowers are sorted by color. As you can see here along the perimeter, I have all of the flowers that we're not going to be utilizing in this build. So all of these over here are now sorted by color. So if I were to open these up, boom. And as you can see, I've been running this for a while in order to test it. So none of those flowers are useful to us, which is why they're sitting there like that. If you wanted to take this a little bit differently, you could put a hovering hopper hawk up here near the drum of the wild, and do a couple double chests and put all of the flowers in there if you were so inclined. But I don't know, I like sorting them by color. Your results may vary. Alright, there we go. Now that I've got the rain to stop, I can't believe I forgot that little command prompt there. But anyways, so next we need to get our petals sorted and crafted, specifically, in order to make our generating flora. Now, what I've done is, over on the left are the 3 flowers that we need for the daybloom, and on the right, the 3 flowers for the nightshade. The reason why this is important, you don't want to just do one or any of them like that, is because the Rafflosia actually loses mana generation if it doesn't feast on different passive generating flora. So if you give it a daybloom after it ate a daybloom, it's not going to produce as much mana as if you had given it a nightshade after that daybloom. So we can cycle back between these 2, so we need a minimum 2 passive flora. And that's what I'm doing right here. You have this floating hopper hawk right here, with a mana supply down here from whichever mana generating source you have. Here I have the creative pool. That will pick up the flowers for the daybloom, and the flowers for the nightshade, again, using a floating hopper hawk. These hoppers are set up such that they feed into one another towards the center by shift-right clicking on them, and eventually into this crafty crate. And as you can see, as the flowers come into the crafty crate, they are turned into their petals, fed into this hopper, which goes into this chest. As you can see, things are filling up pretty nicely in here, so we're gonna have to clear our inventory here a little bit. There we go. Like I said, been trying to do a lot of testing. From there, we have 2 Corporea networks, and this seems to be a bug in 1.8.9, so I apologize for the confusion. But as you can see, this left-hand network and this right-hand network are indeed separate. These chests don't hold anything, they're here just simply to define the network. From there, you need Corporea sparks on the chest with your petals, each of these Corporea funnels, whichever source of seeds you're going to be utilizing, and your source of water, which in this case I have a dispenser filling up buckets from an infinite water source. The seeds could absolutely be an automated wheat farm, or whatever design of your choice. I just simply put these chests here in order to show you what's going on. So, in total, that is 9 Corporea sparks and 1 master spark per setup, for a total of 2 master sparks and 9 Corporea sparks. From there, put item frames with the recipe For the flower, in this case, the nightshade would be 2 blacks, a gray, purple, seeds, and then the bucket to refill the apothecary. And then the dayblooms, same exact, just different colored flowers. From there, we have this hovering hourglass, which is set to 10 seconds, so every 10 seconds this will create 1 flower. And I don't have this redstone here because I wanted to show you guys something in a moment. But basically what happens is we come down here and slowly increase the tick delay on these repeaters. So for the 2 yellow or black of the daybloom or nightshade respectively, you're going to go ahead and do 1 tick delay. For the gray or orange, you're going to do a 2 tick delay, and same for the light blue or the purple, as the case may be. A 3 tick delay for the seeds, and then a 4 tick delay for the bucket. And each bit of redstone also technically counts as a 1 tick delay, and traveling down a hopper also takes about 2 or 3 ticks depending on your server lag. So we're getting quite a bit of delay in between our items in that regard. From there, these all feed into hoppers, I should say. These funnels feed into hoppers, which are then lined up to feed into this open crate. And the open crate, with no redstone signal, just drops them right into the petal apothecary. So this will allow for our items to be automatically dropped into the apothecary, crafted, and pop out. From there, the ranuncarpi are set to pick up and place on the coarse dirt surrounding our Rafflosia. So the way you go ahead and set that up is you have just a regular grass block, and then the coarse dirt sits underneath the ranuncarpus. So basically 2 blocks below the ranuncarpus is where you're trying to plant. It needs to be dirt, and I'd made the coarse dirt so that way I wasn't planting all over the place on this infinite field of lovely grass. So just keep that in mind. From there, the ranuncarpus will place the flower next to the Rafflosia. The Rafflosia will eat it, nom 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 nom, make some mana, delicious. From there, you have petite hopperhawks, specifically petite hopperhawks, picking up the empty buckets and putting them back into this dispenser. And we've even got it item framed so it doesn't pick up the flowers that we're generating, because we wouldn't want to dispense flowers, we only want to pick up buckets for our infinite water. Just to let you know, these hovering hourglasses that activate the dispensers are on a 5-second delay, or cycle, I guess you could say, and that's to make sure that we always have at least 1 or 2 water buckets inside the network when the network fires up there. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to place this monopool as well as this spreader and bind this spreader to the monopool. Basic stuff, I know, but this is essentially to make a point. For those of you that feel that passive flowers are now dead and never do anything to generate mana for you again, well, have I got a treat for you. What we're going to go ahead and do is reconnect this redstone up here. I'm going to let this run for a total of 5 minutes, and we're going to show you guys exactly how much mana this Rafflosia generates. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this vantage point right here, and go ahead and watch the magic. Okay, and we're back. So let's go ahead and see how much mana we generated from this Rafflosia. Alright, so it looks like about 1/8 of a mana pool, maybe about 1/10 or so. So in 5 minutes, you can generate about a little over a mana pool's worth of mana using this Rafflosia. So seems pretty good compared to where we used to be for passive flowers. Now, obviously it takes a lot more infrastructure now, but at least they're not useless anymore. So we definitely have that going for us. Now, something I do want to mention is the big... I will just go ahead and set it to day here real quick. And we'll clear the weather. There we go. The big thing here is that I will admit, I don't quite have the timing down for the dispensers here. So for those of you out there who are using Botania in something other than a vacuum, there is a little thing that we're able to use here to help out our lives if you don't feel like figuring out the dispensers. And that's these, the Everfull urns. Now, the Everfull urns are from Thaumcraft and do require a little bit more fiddling than timing for the buckets, if you feel so inclined. But there is obviously this method if you wanted to add one element that is outside of Botania into your build. So thank you again, everybody out there, for watching this little video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you have any feedback or alterations to the build that you think would be intelligent or necessary even, then go ahead and tell me in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking. Like I said, I hadn't seen any builds yet out there for automated Rafflosias using Botania, and, well, this is my submission to the community. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter. Bye-bye! But yeah, if I step on that particular block, noted with cobblestone, why? There's just a font of experience that shoots out all over the place. And I couldn't tell you why. I could not give you rhyme or reason as to how this occurred. I was looking for a place to set up a blood magic ritual, and just I happened to find this spot, that block in particular, that